Hello my crafty friends, this altered playing card is going to be full of texture. I'm going to start by adding just different layers of all different things I have, mainly scraps, but anything that's really got a lot of texture and dimension, and you'll see I'm going to layer it quite thick. I'm using craft glue to attach these pieces to the card, but you could also use Mod Podge or gel medium, anything you have. As I add all the different elements, I'm leaving the number and the heart of the card visible because I want to be able to still see that it is a playing card when I'm finished with the alteration. So I've added a piece of vintage music paper at the bottom, then a piece of thick cardstock, a piece of embroidered lace. It's like a lace strip. I've put some textured paper, some cheesecloth, and now I'm adding some tissue paper. And as you can see, when I'm adding it, I'm just pushing it with the paintbrush so it scrunches up. I don't want it smooth, I want it to ripple and buckle. So I just do it very, very roughly. I put quite a bit of glue on the paintbrush and then I smush it up. Here I'm adding some more cheesecloth. Like I said, a lot of texture, and it's really fun to put this together. You can add as much or as little as you want. I like it quite chunky, and while I was drying it, I realized I wanted a little bit more. So I've added some more of that textured cardstock, just a few more pieces, and then I dry it all really well. Once all the glue is dried really well, I'm going to add a layer of gesso. As I said earlier, I want to keep the Four of Hearts showing, so I am painting a little bit of gesso over it, but in a very thin layer because I want it still visible, but I want some of the color that I'm going to add later to flow over this section still. You can add a thick layer of gesso or like 2 layers of gesso, or you could make it quite thin and let the undercolors of the textured pieces shine through. I wanted mine all white because the colors I choose later wouldn't really match, but if you're going for a vintage style, you could actually leave those browns and rust colors shining through a bit in between the gesso just to add more interest. I dried this layer really well too, and now I'm going to add my colors. I'm just using regular acrylic paints. I'm going for an underwater theme, so I'm choosing mermaid colors. I have turquoise, blue and purple. I spray the card with water before I start, and then I just add a few dollops of paint with a paintbrush and then spray it again with water and just let it spread over the surface and over all the textures. And as you can see, it makes darker areas and lighter areas depending where it penetrates or where it goes over the different elements from underneath. I find this quite magical actually, because I love just to see how it's going to spread and how different it looks once you've added the color. I'm going to add a little embellishment cluster. I have a little seahorse die cut, and I'm just going to add some cheesecloth just behind it, just to make it the focal point. If I put it directly on, it will get lost because the colors are very similar. So I'm just going to try and put it on some kind of a background so it stands out. The piece of cheesecloth that I'm using, I'm just going to add a little bit of gesso to it, just dabbing it here and there. And then once you dry it, the gesso actually dries in clumps and it actually makes the cheesecloth quite stiff. I actually quite like this effect. So just dab some gesso on it, dry it, and then it creates a beautiful textural piece for behind the seahorse. I've also added a piece of textured cardstock and some thread, and I'm just attaching everything with the hot glue. I wanted to add a little bit of bling, so I have some turquoise sequins. I'm just going to add 3 just to add a little bit of a pop to the card. And that's the card done. It was really fun. I'm just going to punch a hole and then I'm adding it to the rest of the collection. Here is a close-up so you can see all the beautiful textures and how they work with the different colors, and how the more you have, the more interesting it becomes. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got some inspiration to create your own altered playing card, or if you're doing the challenge with me, I hope you enjoyed this technique. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you can get notification of all my new videos coming soon. And thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye.